start off by crediting South Florida. They played with the appropriate level of force and competitiveness. Really did a great job.
Did a Team USA coach really step down right as Caitlin Clark was rising to become the face of global basketball? Or is there something deeper going on behind the scenes? Because right now, there's a quiet storm building, and most people aren't even seeing it. Welcome to WNBA Vibe, where we break down the stories nobody else wants to touch. On the surface, it all looks like coincidence. Headlines say it's just timing. But when you really dig in, that narrative starts to crack. This isn't just about one roster decision or one coach walking away. This is about a power shift. A new superstar shaking a system that's been running the same playbook for years. And this tension didn't start with the Olympic snub. Nah, it goes way back. Before the nil deals, before the spotlight, before the world fully caught on, Clark was already sending a message. 2021, FIBA Under-19 Women's Basketball World Cup. While everyone else was watching established stars, she was out there cooking elite international talent. Australia, Spain, Russia, it didn't matter. She was torching everybody. Logo threes, no-look dimes, running the offense like a one-woman system. And when it was all said and done, gold medal and MVP. Not hype, proof. She showed the world her game translates at the highest level. But here's where it gets interesting. As her star was skyrocketing, Dawn Staley stepped down. A legend. A culture builder. Someone who represented structure, hierarchy, and doing things the right way. And yeah, officially, it was a perfect exit. Olympic gold. Legacy secured. But the timing. Man, it raised eyebrows. Because when she left, she didn't just vacate a position. She left behind a system. A system built on patience, seniority, and control. Then came Cheryl Reeve. Different voice, same mindset. Defense first. Discipline. Veterans over hype. Pay your dues, earn your spot. That Minnesota Lynx culture. She brought it straight into Team USA. And now you've got a collision course, because Clark? She's the exact opposite. Flashy. Unpredictable. A walking highlight reel. The kind of player that doesn't wait her turn, she takes it. And behind closed doors, the whispers started getting louder. Her deep range. Too risky. Her passes. Too flashy. Her swagger. Too much. Some even called it street ball. Think about that. While she's bringing millions of new fans into the game, she's also becoming a problem for the traditional system. Not because she's not good enough, but because she's different. So now the stage is set. Old guard vs new wave. System versus superstar. And then, boom, the decision drops. Caitlin Clark left off the 2024 Olympic roster. The biggest name in women's basketball, not representing Team USA. You think that's just basketball? Nah, check this out. That was wild, right? And now you see why fans weren't buying the official story for even a second. The committee tried to play it safe, said Caitlin Clark didn't have enough senior team experience, even though she already proved herself on the international stage. They pointed at missed training camps like it was a flaw, not the result of her dominating deep into the college postseason. And then came the real tell, they wanted players who'd been in the system. Translation. This was a closed circle, and breaking in wasn't part of the plan. The backlash. Immediate. Explosive. ESPN, Fox Sports, analysts everywhere were calling it a massive fumble. Social media went crazy. Fans weren't just confused, they were heated. Because this didn't feel like basketball anymore. It felt personal. Like the system looked at its biggest star and said, "You don't belong here." And then the real stories started leaking out. 3 theories, each one messier than the last. First, jealousy. Straight up. Veterans who grinded for years felt like Clark skipped the line. They paid dues, she brought the spotlight. And that spotlight, yeah, it made some people uncomfortable. Second, coaching philosophy. Under Cheryl Reeve, this team runs on structure, discipline, control. But Clark, she is the system. A one-woman offense. High risk, high reward. And insiders say that didn't sit right in the locker room or the selection meetings. But the third theory, that's the one that hits different. This wasn't about fit, it was about power. USA Basketball saw the Clark wave coming, and instead of riding it, they tried to contain it. Leaving her off the roster wasn't just a decision, it was a statement. Nobody is bigger than Team USA. Not even her. And here's where it gets even crazier. This move didn't just shake the locker room, it shook the business side of the sport. Analysts are calling it a billion-dollar mistake. The Caitlin Clark effect is real. Sold-out arenas. Record TV ratings. Games getting moved into NBA venues just to fit the crowd. She's not just a player, she's an engine for growth. And with NBC banking on her as the face of Olympic coverage, that opportunity just disappeared. Brands like Nike and Gatorade lost a global stage moment you can't recreate. So now the sport is split down the middle. On one side, you've got the old-school mindset. Win games. Trust the system. Stick to tradition. On the other, the future. Star power. Global reach. Growth. Because modern sports don't just run on wins, they run on icons. LeBron James, Tom Brady, Lionel Messi, these aren't just players, they're movements. And Clark. She's becoming that for women's basketball. Which is why this whole situation hits so hard. Because instead of embracing a once-in-a-generation superstar, the system pushed back. And now everyone's asking the same question. What really matters more? Protecting tradition, or building the future? If you're rocking with real, unfiltered WNBA stories like this, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what's coming next in this league? It's going to be straight up savage.